Hi, I'm Dennis Ford. I'm the founder of Life Science Nation and the creator of the RESI conference series. One of the panels we have there is called Tales from the Road, where we gather fundraising CEOs that are in the midst of doing fundraising campaigns, and they talk about the trials and tribulations that happen when they're on the road.
What's been your experience in crafting your story, and how do you think about it from the standpoint of the key target investors that you're looking at in your current stage? And how has that maybe changed as you're evolving?
Sure. So a lot of this, I think, the messaging here is probably things people are familiar with, but it is, I've certainly found it to be true, is you certainly need to understand your audience. Is this a PhD VC, or is this a a family office that may not be as sophisticated? So you certainly have to tailor the messaging to the audience that you're going to be sitting down with at the moment.
I'd agree with everything Greg said, but our approach has always been, be brief with the ability to go deep. I think the brevity is probably the most difficult part, right? Because we're all excited about what we're doing, and everybody's excited about the technology and the applications. And a big percentage of your target audience really just wants the first 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. The times we've gotten it right, after there's initial interest, we really get busy doing homework on who we're talking to, who they invested with, what stages, what have they done. And you can generally develop a decent profile of people. It's a lot harder on the family office space because they're so stealth. You have to be pretty far down the road before you figure out whether they're for real or not.
You talked about keeping the pipeline full. What do you do when you've kind of gone through your Rolodex and you said, right, I've done it now? How do you refill it? What are the tips?
You go through LSN's Rolodex.
Yeah.
So we did a couple of things. That's if you're looking for more substantive investors, LSN's database, I think, is unparalleled. And we've used it multiple times. If you're earlier stage and you're looking for angel investors, you need to find people who've got a passion for whatever it is you're trying to solve. This is fundamentally a numbers game. You need to talk to a lot of people. As I say, there are a lot of frogs you need to kiss to get enough princes to fill out your board. And if you don't go in with that frame of mind, knowing that you have to do diligence that you go through, but you also have to turn through a lot of people.
I think for us, the mistake I would say, and this is, you make these mistakes and you learn, right? That you think that going out and fundraising is by getting your target investor list and then going through this funnel, and we use the RESI database gruelingly. It's awesome to work with, and we drill it over and over again. We try to go through the target list. At the end of the day, it's about the lead. That's all it's about. It's about finding the lead. And that's my experience, is that your number one job and your number 2 job and your number 10 job is to find a lead investor, and everything else works out after that.
So maybe I'll ask, how do you put pressure to get things done fast?
My approach is just gentle pressure, trying to understand that they're seeing lots and lots and lots of deal flow, and it's not that they're not interested oftentimes, it's just that they have a lot of other things on their mind, and so it's a bit of a marketing thing where it's just, you're looking for that mind share. So just a general, I don't know, just a email every couple weeks. What are you thinking? Do you have more questions? And if people are interested, they follow up. Oftentimes they'll, hey, thanks for reaching out. I just was too busy.
But I think in addition to what you guys have both said, we found that you have to check in a couple times during the process. Mandates change, funds change, stories within the fund and their world changes. And so you come in, you've done your diligence, you think you've got a group where you've got a good connection, but it's still worthwhile along the diligence process, checking back in again to find out, is this still in your mandate? Are we still on the right page? Because, the world changes and you don't want to get left behind.
I think the process in VCs is much quicker than it is with strategics. If you can't get to a partner who's excited, you're simply not going to go anywhere. It's never going to make it through the investment committee, and so you got to move on. For strategics, my experience has been it's a long-term project. You meet with them, and then you meet with them again, and you meet with them again, and you try and meet with new people, and you build interest and engagement over time. And the person who ends up being your partner could be very surprising, but it's probably the person who attended most of the meetings.
I hope the video was informative. I wrote a book to try and help fundraising CEOs and scientist entrepreneurs raise money, and we think there's a recipe for success. Buy the book, get the database, go to RESI conferences, make connections with investors that are a fit for your stage of development in your product set.